Dan Staten from ElkShape is caught stealing trail cameras on state property. Let's do this, shall we? I may quit hunting public land. I've had quite a few incidences in the last few years. Starting to think it's just me, honestly. But I'm going to do this the only way I know how, and that's go straight public with all the information that I have, and then you can not care. You can make a judgment. I'm not looking for anyone to side with me. I'm just going to put this out there publicly. Here we go. December 1st, 2023 is the day that Idaho's tags go on sale. So I woke up and headed straight to an Idaho vendor to try to pick up an elk tag. And by the way, this video is not about that system, but it is pretty broken, just to make it fair. But we don't live in a fair world, and I know a lot of people were frustrated. They couldn't get a tag, and it's just an over-the-counter tag anyways. So I did that instead of hunting. When I go hunting at this particular spot, it's just far enough to where it doesn't make sense for me to do anything other than dark to dark sit. It's kind of a pain in the ass drive for me to get there. I scouted this spot in the summer, and I put cameras out. And I also checked those cameras, and I scouted if you follow me on Instagram, you could see like there was so many days in October and half in November where I was scouting and prospecting for a shooter buck that I wanted to go after. And I was just constantly a bunch of public land spots. And I settled it on this one. I found a particular buck that had my interest. And so I've hunted this stand 4 times prior to this day, and they're all dark to dark sits. And I would park at the bottom in the morning. Thermals are going down the mountain, and I would just hike straight line from my truck to my stand. Well, this day I went and tried to get tags in Idaho, came home, got my gear, and I was going to hunt there the afternoon. Kind of a long drive, but I'd already burned half the day trying to get tags. So when I got there, I checked the wind with OnX. That is out of the southwest. I have to go a different route. So I went way wide until I got the wind right in my face, and then I just took a game trail straight towards my tree stand. And in doing so, I was walking on a game trail, and I looked up and I saw a tree stand, and I was like, no one's in it. I was like, oh crap, someone's hunting literally on the same contour as me. Checked OnX. I was like, that's not very far from my stand. And then I walked a little bit more steps, and I saw that they had a cell phone trail camera, and it already gotten multiple pictures of me. So I walked right up to it thinking nothing of it, and I grabbed the side and I looked over to see if their name and numbers on it, because my trail cameras, and all of them have, I don't want to blur out my phone number, but all of them have Staten, and then sometimes I just leave my phone number. The reason why I do that is because I've had so many trail cameras stolen, 20 something, and it drives me nuts when you put in, and I mean, I got cameras in Montana and Idaho and Wyoming stolen. So it just drives me nuts that someone would take your camera. It's not like you're deterring them from hunting that spot. I don't know why you would take their camera. You realize that they drove their time, their gas, their energy. They bought this camera, batteries, lithium probably, and a good memory card, and they're excited to see what's on their camera. I have had so many people, and somebody watching this can confirm because they've been that person, text me. I had a guy one time text me on top of a mountain near Spokane and said, hey, I found your trail camera. It's on the ground. Looks like it got knocked over. What would you like me to do? And I texted him. I said, where do you live? He's like, I live in the valley. I said, do you mind bringing it out with you and I'll just come pick it up? He said, sure thing. And dude, I went and met this guy, and he got my camera, and it get knocked over by a bear. How cool is that? I've had people text me on Instagram, send me a message like, hey, I found your camera. I put my name and my number, because if you're going to steal it, at least you know who you're stealing it from. So, and I own several cell phone trail cameras. I work with Stealth Cam. It's no secret. So I know how these cameras work. And I know that you would never want to steal someone's cell phone trail camera, because how are you going to use it? I don't know. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But I looked over on the side, no phone number. I wanted to get a hold of this person. Their stand is definitely downwind of mine. So I'm probably ruining their hunt more than they're ruining mine if we're hunting at the same time. Our winds are predominantly out of the south and southwest and Washington. Anyway, I didn't think anything of it, honestly. I was excited to get in my stand because it was snowing, and I know that deer were going to be moving, and I had multiple cameras out. I got in my stand, and I was just minding my business, and then I started getting... and meanwhile, I'm running this December Chub Challenge on Instagram where you're supposed to tag me with proof that you broke a sweat and shot an arrow. So I'm literally getting 1,000 direct messages a day, and it's a pain in the butt to do, but it's such a cool thing. And so my phone's going zzz, zzz, and I'm like not really paying attention because I'm used to that this time of year. And then I finally look at my phone and I see I got a comment on YouTube saying, you just stole my friend's trail camera. I got a comment on Instagram saying, why did you steal my friend's trail camera? And then I got Facebook messages, which I never check Facebook. I'm not really into Facebook. So I'm like, what? Is this about the camera I just walked by? No way. So then I basically posted a video on my Instagram story, and I'll share that video with you guys right now. Hey guys, it's snowing. I'm on public land hunting deer. And I always walk in the dark. Today was my first day coming in for the afternoon, and I walked with the wind in my face. So I came in a new way because the wind was blowing a different direction. And I walked by somebody's trail camera. It was a cell phone stealth, which I work with stealth cameras. So I was like, oh, nice. And I knew it took my picture. Whatever. Saw the guy's tree stand. I was like, okay, nice spot. Kept walking. And I thought nothing of it. And somebody just commented on my YouTube channel and on Instagram that, why do you steal trail cameras? You just stole my friend's trail camera. So whoever you are, I like your spot. You're not that far from me. Good luck. I didn't steal your camera. I don't need to steal your camera. And I'm rooting for you, buddy. So I was pretty clueless. I didn't realize that somebody had made a post on Facebook. So let's read that post, because that's really what started all this. I'm going to blur out names. I'll tell you why I'm just doing this anyways, because basically, if you post it, you got to be responsible for it. This gal posted on her Facebook, Dan Staten from ElkShape is caught stealing trail cameras on state property. You're a highlighted hunter, ? How unfortunate for you to be caught by another public land hunter, in caps, shame on your hunting ethics, I thought since you're a role model for some, you'd respect others' cameras and setup. Unbelievable ElkShape. And she's got several photos that the camera took. And I'll be honest, in her defense, these pictures look like I messed with her camera, because you can see a couple of long shots and you see me getting closer. I honestly didn't notice the camera until it was like right there at my chest. I wasn't even thinking of a camera. And when I grabbed the side of the camera to look, it pointed the camera a little bit this way or whatever. And I looked to see, and by the way, this camera is like kind of off on a ledge right here. So to walk around on the other side is not smart. Like, you're going to stay on the trail. So I'm leaning over, looking, don't see a name and number. Was going to definitely see if I could contact this person and let them know, hey, my stand's right by yours. Do you want me to move mine? Do you want to move yours? Do you want to trade days? What days are you hunting? I hunt weekdays. Do you hunt weekdays? You can have the weekends, whatever. I have no problem sharing public land, and I usually, in most instances, root for other hunters. So, man, once I was able to find this post on Facebook, I was like, oh my. So I commented on her Facebook post right away, and here's what I said. I said, hello, I would like you to walk up to your camera right now, follow my tracks in the snow, past your camera to my tree stand, and apologize for falsely accusing me. I'm here right now. Your camera or whoever's camera is right where they left it. I walked past and barely saw it. Looked on the side of it for a name, saw nothing, kept walking to my stand, which is where I am at the moment. I have had cameras stolen from me, and it sucks. This is public land, and I know you are wrong. This is also extremely rude to falsely accuse someone / it is defamation, libel, like slander. This is like she really didn't fact check. She just assumed the worst. And I get the emotions involved when you think your camera just got stolen and you caught someone red-handed, and if someone is in the hunting industry, you got them. And I don't know if you're looking for some clout or some fame, or you just think that you're bringing justice. What you're doing is you're stirring up a bunch of unneeded drama, but you probably realize that later, as we're going to find out. So I made that post, and then I'm like, I got to go from defense to offense is what I'm thinking. Meanwhile, I was hopefully hunting and enjoying my afternoon. So I started posting to my Instagram screenshots of these nasty comments and my reply. Like, this guy says, mighty white of you to steal cameras on public land. I don't know what that means. Maybe it was a misspell, but I said, hey man, I just walked into my stand on public land today. I took a different route to keep the wind proper. I walked by unknowingly somebody else's tree stand. They weren't in it, kept walking, got my picture taken by their cell cam, no big deal. I looked on the other side of the camera for a name, nothing, so I kept walking towards my stand thinking that this is a nice setup. Now I'm getting messages on Facebook, comments on IG and YouTube that I stole someone's camera. WTF. Sorry, pal, I own too many cameras to need to steal, plus I actually root for other hunters. This has got to be a young guy, and this kind of crap is why hunters fail to stay united. Whoever you you are, walk to your camera, follow my tracks in the snow to my stand, and accuse me of stealing to my face. And I bet a lot of people were like, what is going on? Because a lot of people don't check Facebook. And then I had a guy comment on YouTube, you just stole my friend's game cam. Not cool, Dan. Lost respect for you. I replied to him on YouTube, and then I also screenshotted sharing this on Instagram. And I said, look, I hate that people steal cameras. I've had 20-something stolen. I also hate being falsely accused and it handled publicly with zero fact checking. I'd love an apology and we can move forward. And then somebody sent me the gal's screenshots. So I posted them to my Instagram story and said, yeah, her name, that is me. Busted for walking to my stand. Haha, should I just drop the coordinates so everyone can walk by this person's camera? I didn't know it was her camera right now, by the way. I wouldn't. I'm not trying to make a big deal of this, but I do feel attacked, and I know some people are rooting against me or would love to see someone in my position fall. That is 100% true. You're going to always have people that would love to see your demise. Dude, I will post the coordinates if somebody is blasting me and be like, everybody come walk by this person's camera right now. One, it's working and it's right where I left it. It is good to go. Two, now everyone's going to know this spot. Is that what you want? So then what I did is when I finished my hunt, I got down from the tree stand and I filmed my tree stand. It's dark. And I'm like, I'm going to keep my camera on. I'm going to turn on tracking and measure the distance from my stand to yours. I'm never going to turn the camera off. You're going to see me backtrack towards your tree stand, which it snowed so much it covered my tracks. It was tricky to freaking find this tree stand again in the dark. And then I finally get to it. Let's just watch that whole thing. Hi. All right. I just got out of the tree. It's dark now. I'm going to turn on OnX and I'm going to backtrack my steps, and I'm going to show whoever this trail camera person is, their camera's still there, good to go. And yeah, I don't know what I would tell you. Like, maybe, I'm pretty available. You could have reached out and said, hey, did you steal my camera? I would have been like, absolutely not. I would never steal a camera. But I do think you picked the right trail camera, stealth cam. I have 3 cell cams in this whole area. So I didn't know anyone else was hunting here. So sorry I walked on your stand, but you weren't there, and it's all because of the wind. So anyways, I'm going to walk back out and I'm going to see how far it is. And I want to show everybody that I didn't touch that camera. Okay. I'm going to let this thing roll. Let's see. This looks like it. Hey, you had deer at your place tonight. All right, here's this trail camera. Ugh. There's your trail camera. I didn't touch. You had it tied that way. It's still tied that way. I walked right through there. Sure ain't walking through it again. You probably put me on social media. So there you go. I didn't touch your camera. I didn't move your camera. It just looks like I moved it when I peeked over the side to see if your name was written. I write my name on all my trail cameras. And I want to say I wish you luck, but I'm pretty pissed off that you try to... It pisses me off that you try to drag my name through the mud. You probably, hey, who is this? And someone said, oh, I recognize who that is. It's that short ElkShape prick. Yeah, it's me. I'm walking in my tree stand. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn this camera off for a second. I want to see how far I just ran tracking it is from stand to stand. Looks like our tree stands are 0.21 miles apart, buddy. So I hope if you hadn't put me on Facebook saying that I stole it, I'd probably be like, good luck, I'm rooting for you right now. Actually, I just want you to say you're sorry. That's all. I just want you to say you're sorry. And I don't even know if I'm going to hunt public land anymore. It seems like I just run into more and more. And takes the fun out of it, man. So you can see I'm pretty heated. I'm dropping swear words out of, probably not out of character, but if you really know me, I do swear a little bit. Still love Jesus. Anyways, if you looked at where I walked in, you can see it snowed so much that my tracks were covered already, and I wasn't about to walk by her camera again. Who knows, thought I'd be trying to cover up something or whatever. It was just so ridiculous. What I didn't know at this point in time was that, and I found out pretty quick, once I got past her stand and got on the trail, I looked down by my truck and there was 2 trucks with their lights on parked next to mine. And then there was a 3rd truck, and it looked like they were going back and forth on the road looking for me. And I was like, frick. Are these the people? Are these locals? Are these this guy's friends? Am I getting jumped? I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. So, but be a man, go down there and see what's up. So that's what I did. And when I got to my truck, I went right to them, and they got out of their vehicle. And the dude who said it was his camera, he got out of the car and he reached to shake my hand, which I was like, that was the last thing I was expecting. I was expecting to honestly have somebody yell at me, get in my face, or throw punches. And then another dude get out of the car, and he was a really, really, really big dude. And then the 3rd guy pulled up in his truck, and he stayed in his truck. So we got 3 on 1. And he shakes my hand, tells me his name, and he's like, hey, I left you a note on your truck, but I also wanted to wait for you to come down and talk this through. He's still under the impression that I stole the camera, and he knows who I am. And I don't know who he is. He says we've met, but I don't recall. His face doesn't look familiar, and it's dark. I'm like, okay, well, man, I really would appreciate it if you'd, walked up there. He still hadn't walked up there. Why didn't you just walk up there and go see if your camera is there, if I actually took it before going to the internet to say that I did? I'll just cliff note it. He mentioned, it looked bad and that it looked like I had taken it. And I said, well, did you get any pictures after I left? And he said he didn't. And I was like, well, that sucks, because there was some deer tracks in there when I hiked out, but they didn't go in front of the camera. It would have been nice if a darn deer would have gone by and they'd be like, oh, the camera's there and it's still working. But that didn't happen, and that's fine. And then it come to find out, really, I think the stand is not really one that he hunts, or maybe he does, but his wife primarily hunts it. He did not tell me that. I find that out later, and I'll share that. But we came to a conclusion that why don't I hunt in the morning and then I'll move my blind? I think I said I'll even take it out of here if I need to. But I would move my blind because we're definitely like on the same contour, not that far apart, 0.21 miles. I don't know how many yards that is, but it's like not that far. So 400 yards. And so then his big friend, he's like, hey, Dan, do you remember me? I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, yes, I do remember you. And I started talking, and I don't want to say his name either, but I was like, man, why didn't you vouch for me? You know me. And he said, well, the pictures looked bad. I was like, well, you guys all assumed, went quick to judgment. And and here we are. I asked him if he doesn't have social media, so it was his wife that was doing all the posting. I said, well, would you have your wife update her post or delete it or whatever? A lot of damage is already done. People are going to assume the worst of me. That's just how these things work. We shook hands. Everybody left, and I came home, and I made a quick video on Instagram telling everybody what I just told you. And I will say this behind the scenes. The guy, I'm like, hey, man, you know what would be cool for YouTube? He said he was interested in looking at buying the lift from Matthews because it has 80 pounds. I said, if you're going to do that, I would love to film your bow build and help you with your bow build. That would be really cool to show people that, hey, we had a misunderstanding, but we could still come together. We're hunters. We're united, not divided. And that offer still stands to whoever you are. You're going to get a Matthews lift. Let me do the bow build, or let Josh Jones, and I'll film it, and we'll just show everybody that, hey, a misunderstanding is stupid. We're good to go, and we can share public land, whatever. I've had some BS happen since I started doing ElkShape, man, and I'll just name off a few. Do you guys remember when I filmed all those hunters harassing those elk and using vehicles to run them all over the alfalfa fields? Dude, I wanted to quit hunting just because I saw that and witnessed that, and I didn't want to publish it. I didn't want the drama. Do you remember when I got kicked off by public land by an outfitter claiming to be security, and we had to call the game warden and get them involved? Yeah. Oh, do you remember when cameraman Jake got a written warning for his dirt bike incident, and I got associated with that? So just for the record, I have never been convicted of a hunting violation, a trespassing violation. Go down the list. Please go look up my record if it's public information. Please go do that. Please. I've had people accuse me of taking TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I've had a whole bunch of stuff, man. And it's all noise, and I don't pay that much attention to it, to be honest. But I do believe in defending your honor so that this is out there for anyone who's on the fence can watch it. And there's always two sides to the story, and then there's the truth. I'm trying to keep mine parallel to the truth. When I decided to do ElkShape, I realized I was signing up for scrutiny. I was signing up to have people that support me and some people that would love to see me go away. Is it because I have some consistent success? If you look at my track record, all success, all glory is given to God, first and foremost. Number two, blessed with the ability to have resources to train hard and resources to have really good shooting bow equipment and know how to tune and tinker, and just an unwavering passion for hunting. And again, I started this year off saying I want hunters united, not divided, and I'm still going to stay on that pathway. I'm still going to say your husband is definitely invited to do a bow build. I'm a pretty transparent dude. Some would say polarizing. Many would say intense. I'm intense about hunting, but I'm not intense enough to wish anyone not to have success. Again, I'm not going to touch anyone's camera or look. If I look for their name and number, I'm going to just peek over, hands off. But I do think everyone try to put your name and number if you are hunting public land. I think it's a good idea. You could literally be in a situation where where our stands are 300 yards apart and one of us is going to screw up the other. I had the prevailing win almost every time where we live. And I think it would have been cool to work together, share intel, whatever, or none of that if you don't want to. And you could say that politely. No, I don't really care that your stand's there. I'm not moving mine. That's cool. So then she sends me a message, direct message, and it says, I know my husband spoke with you and I'm sorry for Facebook blasting you. I should have waited till morning to see if it was there when I sit. But anyways, this is the YouTube video I had to make. Got a deer tag. Still on my grind. Can't wait to bring a report to you guys of the Iron Will Wide, hopefully soon. Separations in the preparation. Catch you on the next one.